Let's talk about it. The Maestro breakdown is here, and guys, this dude is insane. I think they built him for a particular purpose, and they got it. He's a defender. He has energy damage. He's shock immune, incinerate immune, and poison immune. This dude, he's kind of like that. He's legit kind of like that. I can't even lie. I actually took him up on my actual account because Caban wouldn't give it to me on the beta. So everything you're seeing is from my actual account. I took this dude to rank 4, SIG 200, and I have no regrets. And even his combo, like his combo isn't complicated at all. He's easy to play, like regular 5-hit combo. He has a decent heavy in my opinion, and he can do crazy energy damage. Like I had a ball ranking him up. Like even if they gave it to me on a beta, I would have taken him up after I did my initial clear of Necropolis, because I think he's a really great defender. He's somewhat of a decent attacker, but I think he was definitely built for defense because, you know, some of his abilities, they're just geared towards Battlegrounds. And I fought him in Battlegrounds, and it just was not fun at all. It was a nightmare. Like he does, the good news is he does have some counters, and I was able to figure out some counters. I have them in the video, but just know, like when he's Awakened, he's gonna be more of a problem. So, but let's talk about his strengths first. What strengths does Maestro have? Maestro is a purpose-built defender. Use him to make your worst enemies anguish. He is a monster on defense. I've used him against some of the best attackers in the game, and even they had trouble. Like right here with Hercules, once his glance is up, like Maestro's glance, you're gonna have a tough time getting around that because he glances almost everything. And I tried here with Nick Fury on the bleeds, and even they were not as potent as I thought they would be. Like they built him from defense, and you can definitely tell this dude is a tank, and he doesn't have a lot of counters. He does have some counters, but not a lot. Another one of the things, I tried him against CGR to see if I can do a lot of damage, and once his glance mechanic was up, nothing I can do there. Nothing at all. It was bad. It was bad. I'm pretty sure Slayer of Gods can find a way around his glancing, but bro, I had a time. Another one of his strengths is his buff conversion. Maestro loves when you remove his buffs, and only gets stronger when you do that. Unlike other Cosmic Champions, don't fear losing any of your buffs when you have Maestro, because it's only going to make him stronger. He's going to gain more neutralium charges, and he's just going to be even more of a headache on defense. So if you're trying to neutralize his buffs, I wouldn't recommend it because he's only going to get stronger from there. So I tried against all the best buff removers in the game, like, you know, Doom, Claire, and now Rentra, and it just didn't work out well. He just kept glancing everything, and I couldn't even nullify the glancing all that effectively. So, but the good news is he does have some weaknesses. See, one of his well-known weaknesses is a trophy. I don't think I'm saying that right. Maestro loves being nullified, but hates when you end his buffs early. Use a trophy to take him down. So the only champion that does a trophy, I don't know if I'm not even saying that right, is Kindred. But the good news is if you end his buff early, you will have a pretty decent time. So I went in with Mojo, and it wasn't that bad. Mojo was able to end a lot of his buffs early, so keep that in mind. Like Mojo, great counter. If I was you, I would definitely take up Mojo and put 206 in him, because look the way he melts Maestro. He doesn't stand a chance. So he does have some counters. Another one of his weaknesses is energy resistance. Much of Maestro's damage is energy based. High energy resistance will hamper his damage. So champions like Havoc are a good counter for Maestro. I don't think you do a lot of damage because, you know, he has that glancing, but Bishop, another great counter because he has high energy resistance. Maestro is really lenient, really dependent on his energy damage. So get an energy resistant champion if you want to counter him at a decent pace. I don't know if Bishop will be able to take him down though. Let's talk about his immunities. Since he's a Hawk champion, you know, he has several immunities outside of poison, but he's also very much a Incinerate immune, which can be beneficial. I did like that about him. Another one of his immunities, which I was surprised at, is that he is poison immune. I guess I wasn't surprised at that. I thought I was meant another immunity, but he's poison immune, but he's a Hawk, so that's expected. He's supposed to be poison immune. Hawk is pretty much immune to all poisons in the battle realm. But the thing I'm talking about here is his shock immune. Did not know that he would be shock immune. Like I get hit here on purpose, and look, immune to shock. So I think they built him to directly counter Doom. So Doom is not going to be a good counter for this guy at all. Let's talk about his Awaken ability. Now, when he's awakened, he automatically gets 3 additional neutralium charges when he activates or refreshes personal fury effects when he activates a special, which is good. And he also gains block penetration, and the higher the sig, the more block penetration he'll have. Again, I don't think he really needs high sig, but you know, almost every champion in the game does benefit from high sig. He'll do a lot more block penetration when he is awakened, just so you know. And I did take him to sig 200, and at sig 101, which I thought was pretty decent. He has what, 12% plus 12 block percent penetration. I cannot talk. And at sig 200, he has plus 19 block penetration. Not 19%, but it's 19. His prestige is 18,170, so not the highest, but also not low at all. Still pretty decent prestige in my opinion. But overall, I don't know if I will put high sig. I don't know if I'll put a lot of sig in him if I was you. Let's talk about his synergies. He does have quite a bit of synergies. His synergies are more geared towards him than they are towards the other. Like he has synergies with Captain America, Hulk, and Iron Man, and this Maestro gains plus 10% fury potency for each other synergy member on the team. He also had a synergy with Red Skull, Kang, and Thanos. Gain plus 100% armor rating, plus 100 critical rating, plus 100 critical damage, plus 3% block chance, double when fighting the final node in the quest. But he does have another synergy with Maestro. I mean, not with Maestro, with Overseer. When you have Maestro on your team, you gain 20%, Neutralium gains 20% faster. During Superior Rage, Neutralium expires 20% slower. So I thought that was quite beneficial. So I would definitely run the Overseer synergy with him, because it's definitely worth it. And when you have Overseer, personal special concussion debuffs gain plus 10% flat potency, but their stack limit is reduced to 4, which it's not that bad, but overall, okay. So he has okay synergies. He doesn't really need them in my opinion. Let's talk about him on defense. This dude is going to be a monster on defense. Like, I tried a lot of my nuke champions against him, like right here, Kitty Pride 5-star, because you know, Battlegrounds is going to be different. It was not going all that well. We did do some damage, but there's no way we'll be able to take this dude down in 2 minutes in Battlegrounds with a Kitty. I mean, it could be possible maybe for Legacy, but it didn't work for me. I tried with my girl, Valkyrie, and he kept glancing, so I couldn't even gain my other Pierce because he kept glancing all of my hits. So Valkyrie, not a good counter. I tried with my girl Ghost, and it went okay. Again, not going to be good enough to get him down in 2 minutes. He's just going to glance everything. So Ghost, not really a good counter at all in my opinion. I did try Morningstar, and it actually went pretty decent. Like, I was able to nullify his buffs, and again, he did gain neutralium charges, but Morningstar was actually kind of a decent counter. Like, you might be able to do it in 2 minutes with Morningstar if you can get to an SP2, but I don't know if it will really work all that effectively. Another good counter I thought was Symbiote Supreme. We were able to nullify his buffs, and we were doing kind of decent damage. But again, this Maestro I'm facing against is unawakened. It might be a different story if he's awakened. Just keep that in mind, but yeah, Symbiote Supreme was doing a pretty decent job against him in my opinion, and I just kept throwing the SP2 and was able to just melt him down. He may be poison immune, but he's not bleed immune. Another great counter, I found this out from Karate Mike, was America Chavez. We were able to do crazy damage to this guy and just destroy him. Again, it was unawakened, so it might be a different when he's awakened. Just keep that in mind, guys. Relics. I didn't find many relics for him. The only one that I thought was pretty decent was the Gamora relic, because it extended his fury duration and fury potency and other beneficial. So I would definitely recommend ranking up the Gamora relic and putting on him. I did do that, and it's been somewhat decent. Leave a comment below if you think there are other relics that are good for him, but I didn't really see many that I liked. But overall, I think the Gamora relic will be all you really need for him, in my opinion. So keep that in mind. Masteries. One of the best masteries for him was the greater health. What's better than having the tankiest lad in the land, and even tankier lad? I don't think he would be good for the damage masteries, in my opinion, because he's not, you know, bleed immune, and every time you throw your special, you'll lose 5% health. So I wouldn't recommend running the damage mastery, but greater health would be good for him, in my opinion. And overall, what are my overall thoughts for this guy? Overall, I think this guy is great as a defender in Battlegrounds. I don't know if I would use him to quest. I don't think I really would. I got other Cosmic Champions, but as a defender in my deck for BGs, he's always going to be in there. I'm probably going to rank him up to rank 5 because he's just that good. He's going to be a pain for any and everyone. There's not going to be many people that countered him at all, especially with his energy damage. And I highly doubt I would use him offensively. I'm most probably just use him as a defender because he's just that good. I mean, I guess you could use him offensively depending on the matchup, but I wouldn't recommend it. He has an interesting ramp up. He can do a lot of damage, but yeah, again, he's just going to be a defender to me. But overall, great champion. I think he is going to be an amazing defender. If you did like this video, please hit that like button. And for anyone new here, if you can hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. Y'all take care. Have a great and wonderful day.